My son, Noah, is the light of my life. He's 8 years old, all scraped knees and endless questions. This morning, he was trying to teach our golden retriever how to shake a paw. This afternoon, he was lying perfectly still in a hospital bed, a maze of tubes and wires, keeping him alive. The doctors called it a tragic accident, a fall down the stairs at home. I was working in my home office, and I heard the crash, the sound of his small body tumbling. It's a sound that will haunt me forever. I called 911. I rode in the ambulance, my hand never letting go of his. My husband, Ben, was on a business trip, his phone going straight to voicemail. I was alone. The doctors, they were kind, reassuring, especially Dr. Evans. He had a calm, confident voice and gentle eyes. "We see this all the time, Mrs. Miller," he said. "Kids are resilient. We'll take good care of him." I clung to those words like a life raft. Noah was in a medically induced coma to let his brain swelling go down. For 2 days, I never left his side. I slept in the chair, I held his limp hand, I talked to him, praying he could hear me. On the third day, the nurses began to slowly reduce the sedatives. Dr. Evans said he might start to wake up, that it would be a gradual process. It was in the dead of night, the hospital corridor silent, that I felt it. A tiny, weak squeeze around my fingers. My eyes snapped open. Noah's eyes were open, just slits, glazed with drugs and confusion. "Noah?" I whispered, my heart hammering. "Baby, can you hear me?" His lips parted. A dry, rasping breath came out. I leaned in, my ear almost touching his lips. "Mom," he breathed. It was the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. "Shh, it's okay. You're safe. You're in the hospital." He blinked slowly, trying to focus. Then his eyes widened, just a little, filling with a fear I'd never seen before. His grip on my hand tightened. He tried to speak, but only a croak came out. I reached for the cup of water with a straw, helping him take a sip. He swallowed with effort, his eyes locked on mine, pleading. He pulled me closer. I could feel his heart monitor beeping a little faster. And then he whispered it. 4 words that turned my blood to ice. He pushed me, Mom. I froze. The world narrowed to the sound of his ragged breath and the frantic beeping of the monitor. "What, honey? Who pushed you?" He was fading, the drugs pulling him back under. But with one last burst of effort, his voice a ghost of a sound, he gave me the name. "Dr. Evans." Then his eyes closed, and his hand went limp in mine. The beeping slowed back to a steady rhythm. He was asleep. But I was now wide awake, trapped in a nightmare. Dr. Evans, the kind, reassuring man, the one who was overseeing his care? It made no sense. Was it a hallucination? A bad dream from the anesthesia? I told myself that. I had to. Because the alternative was too terrifying to comprehend. But then, the memories started clicking into place, sharp and ugly. The way Dr. Evans had been a little too interested in our family, asking if we had good health insurance, asking if Ben traveled often. I'd thought he was just making conversation. Now it felt like an interrogation. And the accident itself? Noah never played near the top of the stairs. He was scared of them. He always held the railing with both hands. A cold, hard certainty settled in my gut. My son wasn't dreaming, he was testifying. I couldn't go to the police. What would I say? My groggy 8-year-old who's on heavy medication accused his doctor? They'd dismiss me. I couldn't even trust the hospital staff. What if Dr. Evans had an accomplice? I was alone in a lion's den, and the lion was about to make his next move. I had to get proof. I had to make him confess. I went to the nurse's station, putting on my best, exhausted, grateful mother act. He's resting so peacefully, I told the night nurse. I'm just gonna run home for 1 hour to shower and change. I'll be back before rounds. She smiled sympathetically. It was a lie. I didn't go home. I went to the hospital gift shop and bought a cheap stuffed bear. Then I drove to the nearest electronics store and bought the smallest, most powerful voice-activated recorder I could find. I rushed back to the hospital, my hands shaking. In the deserted hospital chapel, I stuffed the recorder deep inside the bear, ensuring the microphone was poking through the seam. I walked back into Noah's room, my heart in my throat. I placed the bear on the bedside table, pointing its head towards the door. Then I kissed Noah's forehead, pretended to gather my things, and left the room. I didn't go far. I hid in a supply closet down the hall. The door cracked open just enough to see his door, and I waited. I prayed Noah would stay asleep, safe. I prayed my hunch was right. About 20 minutes later, I saw him, Dr. Evans. He wasn't due for rounds for hours. He walked calmly, confidently, straight to Noah's door. He looked up and down the hallway, and then he slipped inside. My blood ran cold. This was it. I started counting the seconds, each one an eternity. 5 minutes. 10. What was he doing in there? My son was defenseless. Just as I was about to burst in, the door opened, and Dr. Evans stepped out. He looked satisfied. He adjusted his stethoscope and walked away. The moment he turned the corner, I ran from the closet and back into Noah's room. He was still asleep, unharmed. I snatched the bear. I locked myself in a bathroom stall and played the recording. My own breathing sounded ragged. Then, Dr. Evans's voice, cold and completely different from his professional tone. "Just you and me, kid," he whispered. "Your mom's not here to protect you. Your dad's never around. Such a shame. Such a valuable life insurance policy. Once I adjust this drip, you'll just never wake up. And I'll be long gone with my share before anyone figures it out." I heard the faint rustle of him touching the IV pump. Then, his footsteps walking away. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. A terrifying calm settled over me. I walked out of that bathroom, phone in hand, and I called 911. I asked for the police and an internal hospital security team. I met them at the main entrance, the recording queued up on my phone. They listened in stunned silence. Dr. Evans was in the doctor's lounge, calmly drinking coffee, when they arrested him. The investigation revealed everything. He was in deep gambling debt. He had done this before, in another state, but they could never prove it. He targeted single-income families where a child's death wouldn't be overly suspicious. My husband's constant business trips made us the perfect target. Noah made a full recovery. He doesn't remember the whisper, or the bear, or the man in his room. He just knows his mom was there. Dr. Evans lost his medical license and is now serving a long prison sentence. He thought he could play God with my child's life in a sterile, silent hospital room. But he forgot one thing. Even the smallest voice can tell the truth. And on that night, karma caught up.